From the home of the World Series champion Diamondbacks, it's round 4 of EA Sports Supercross, presented by Speed Stick. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman along with former champion David Bailey. Here in the 125 West, we've had 3 races and 3 different winners. David, is there a possibility of a 4th tonight?
No. I wouldn't bet on it with Stewart in the field. I mean, there's other guys that can step up. Tane has certainly had his chances. With a half a lap to go in Anaheim in round 1, getting tangled with Gosler. He was leading San Diego before getting blocked past by Stewart, but some guys have had bad luck. Sellards has had a tough time, so has Danny Smith, but it's going to have to be Stewart that's going to allow somebody else to step in there and win.
16 years old. This guy has come from behind. He's won from out in front. What separates James from the rest?
Well, his aggressiveness, for one thing, plus he's the first guy to figure out the track, so he just applies the pressure. And for example, Pingree last week, he's up on the podium, and he's saying, I was nervous that last lap because the kid was going so fast, it was ridiculous. Now, that's the winner saying that he was intimidated. Imagine how everybody else feels.
So let's take a look at the Suzuki storyline then. And we have our 4th different winner in 4 races. Can Stewart stay out of trouble on a difficult track? And can the veteran 125 riders capitalize on any Stewart mistake, like Pingree did last week? David, let's take a look at the Speed Stick track map.
Well, first of all, I love this layout. As soon as they hit the first turn, the riders are forced with all kinds of choices to make as they head into these rhythm sections. And that leads up to the tunnel jump. After that, they make a nice sweeper into the first whoop section. And this second triple highlighted in red. The riders that are taking the inside through here cannot triple that. So I expect to see a lot of block passing right there. After that, it's under the tunnel and into the final whoop section.
Even though the focus has been on one guy this year, this guy has 2 podium finishes in a row and thinks it's his turn for the checkered flag. Will this be a good night for Ivan Tedesco to break out, finally get that first win? He's got about 300 of his closest friends. Took a bus over from Albuquerque, but yesterday Ivan banged his chin off the crossbar pad. He's got some stitches. He's not 100%. We'll say 4 stitches below 100%.
Tedesco on the gate as we get set for our first qualifying heat for the 125s. The 4-time winner and winner last week, David Pingree, is also there as we take a look now at the EA Sports lineups for our first heat. You see Tedesco, Elliott, Johnson, Lytle, a 1-time winner. He won right here. Decker, Smith, Reef, Blair, Corder. The top 9 advancing to the main event out of each 125 West heat race.
There's a look at Pingree just putting his goggles on now, last week's winner. Right next to Tedesco. These guys, I always talk about it, the first turn. I always prefer the inside because everything kind of happens out wide. Tedesco's got the edge there, and I think he's got the speed to get a heat race win. And if he can do that, that'll build his confidence where it needs to be so he can win a main event.
This preliminary, of course, a necessity to get the right gate position for these riders to give them the percentages in the main event. Okay, the 30-second board is sideways. The gate will drop from 5 to 10 seconds, and we'll get our 125 race qualifier number 1 underway. Pingree, a great start. But number 45, Ivan Tedesco, breaks out into the open. Casey Lytle is also right there, number 59.
And Pingree jumps back into second, so Tedesco had it for a moment, but that's what I love about the layout here. You've got so many decisions to make right off the starting line. You can see what happened to Tedesco. He made the wrong choice.
Lytle of Racers Edge Yamaha also has a local sponsor here, Chuck Franklin, and there's David Pingree from KTM.
Whoa, Pingree casing the triple. Tedesco going off the racetrack.
And Pingree moves into second place. Under the tunnel as Casey Lytle, number 59. Last week he felt like he had some of his old touch back. He got the privateer honors in the race and with a 4th place finish.
Daniel Blair, I watched him in practice. I'm thinking, who the heck is this 921? The guy's going pretty fast. He's proving it right now.
Lytle, Pingree, Blair, Danny Smith. Danny Smith has had a horrendous start on the season. And let's go down early trackside with Davey Combs.
Hey, something you guys want to keep an eye on all night long, the dirt down here. This is the first time these riders have seen something different from the Southern California hard pack they had the first 3 rounds. Very loose soil, almost sandy. I think you're going to see some different riders up front because this kind of plays toward the old school motocrossers.
Here comes Pingree on the challenge of Lionel. Pingree moves into first place as they go into the tunnel. Into the short loop section.
Yeah, in about 2 or 3 more laps, the track's going to break down even more. That's when the lines completely change. It's the guys that are able to find those new lines the quickest. They really have an advantage on this kind of soil.
Pingree looking for his 2nd win in a row, winning last week. And his 3 previous wins, they were all in different years.
He must be feeling good right now. Gets rid of that tear off, clears things up a little bit. Watch him blitz through these moves. Finger on the clutch. Now he decides to just hang on to the handlebar. Maybe they're just not broken down enough yet where he feels comfortable. He wasn't able to do the triple that time. He's still able to hang on to the lead, but it's getting tough to come out of that corner. Triple comes up quick on a 125, and this one's even harder to do.
As you see the orders up at the top left of your screen, the red means they fell back on the last lap. The green means they've stepped up a spot on the last lap. 2nd place, Casey Lytle. He got his lone 125 win right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Last year, he actually rode the race with a broken ankle. And then he was 7 races out with that injury. They didn't realize it was broken at the time, but he raced through pain. David Pingree now, pretty good lead.
Yeah, he's feeling comfortable now. You can see he's had enough of a gap right now. He's got Danny Smith back there bothering Lytle. That battle should help Pingree pull away a little bit.
Well, Smith with a sour season would like to get back on the top as they go bar to bar with Lytle. Smith battling for 2nd place on the Suzuki.
Look at Tedesco. He went off the track, was probably mid-pack at one point. He's caught this battle, so he's definitely got the speed. He's probably a little bit angry, too. There's that block passing going on. You see Pingree's lead just opened up again.
There's Tedesco, number 45 on the blue bike, the Yamaha. He's challenging Danny Smith, number 37.
Not out of the question with the pace that Tedesco had to catch these guys that he might be able to reel in Pingree. He was able to hold off Stewart last week. He's bearing down at the end, so Pingree's pretty solid under pressure.
The qualifier for 125, opening up the program. Tedesco, number 45.
Sometimes actually helps to have some problems coming into the week. Changes your focus a little bit. Sometimes Jeff Emig and I talked about that. Sometimes when you're sick, you're so focused. Oh,
Pingree goes down, big time. The bike is on top of him.
He broke the bike in 2. He's had trouble with that triple. I'm glad to see he's up and okay. He's a little bit stunned, but I don't believe what I'm seeing, Art.
Get the garbage truck out for that bike, though, as Pingree struggles off. A big turning point here for the qualifier. Danny Smith, the leader, with Tedesco in 2nd place. Michael Brandis, a one-time winner of the 125s. He won at Indianapolis. He moves into 3rd with Lytle and Boyd. Johnson and Elliott trying to move up behind them.
Well, I wonder if Tedesco thought when he went off the track in the first part of the race and was back there mid-pack, if he thought he had a chance at winning this thing.
Here he is out in front now.
What a crazy season it has been. Both the 125 and the 250 divisions just been one thing after the other that no one could expect.
White flag is out in our short qualifier, and it's Tedesco. He's looking for his very first heat win. He came in 2nd in the opening race qualifying heat in Anaheim. That's the best he's done so far, and the checkers have waved for Ivan Tedesco. Danny Smith, a very encouraging ride in 2nd place. Michael Brandis in 3rd. Lytle will qualify in 4th.
Well, he's got to be happy, and the flip side of that, really confused as to why Pingree was having trouble coming up short on that triple, and glad he's up and okay, but the bike, I think the bike's done for the night.
Let's check out the Honda leaderboard now for the official stats, as Ivan Tedesco's got to be feeling good. Smith, Brandis, Casey Lytle, Travis Elliott in the top 5. Then you've got Keith Johnson, Bess, Reif, and Decker qualify directly to the main event. Coppins, the New Zealander, has to go on to the last chance qualifier. We'll be right back. Back in Phoenix, Arizona, David Pingree has gone off the track. It looks like he's okay, just shooken up right now. The man now who is coming off 2 consecutive podiums, Ivan Tedesco, is with our Davey Combs.
Well, Ivan, tonight might be the night, but I got to tell you, it hasn't started out that great. Had some problems in practice yesterday. I could see by your chin there. And then in the start of the race right there, went off the track.
Yeah, yesterday I came up short on one of those triples and busted my chin open. But, yeah, the first lap, Pingree slid out in that corner, and I jumped off the side of the track to try and not land on him. And that lost a few positions there, but just rode a good race and came back through.
Did you see Pingree's bike back there? It ended in pieces.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess he came up short and broke his bike in half, but I hope he's all right, and hopefully I could put on top of the box tonight.
Good luck in the main.
All right, thanks a lot. I'd like to thank my team.
There's Pingree's KTM, or what's left of it anyway, as Ivan Tedesco had a 55.1 second lap as a fast one. Looking forward to our second qualifier. James Stewart, Preston, Kane, he's looking for his first victory of the season, as is Gosler and Sellers. Lanovich, a promising KTM rookie, also in this lineup, along with Matt Walker, a very fast rider, number 68.
The way that Pingree cased that triple, actually yesterday, Stewart cased the triple right after it, didn't even come close, actually crashed, turned around and went back and jumped it again, just to take care of that, get it out of his head. These triples are tough on the 125. They're right out of the corner. They don't get much run. We're seeing the effects of that.
Later on this evening, Jeff Emming, former champion, who incidentally is one of only 2 riders to win in a 125 class and a 250 class here in Phoenix. The other one, David Milliman. He'll be visiting with Ivan Tedesco later in our show. 32nd board is up now. Stewart, Preston, Tane, Gosler, Sellards. Michael Young has looked good at times this year as well. Isaiah Johnson and others await for that board to go sideways. The nerves are raging right now here at our second qualifier as we're set to get underway from Phoenix, Arizona. Tane, number 27, breaks out on top with Sellards behind him. And then the young phenom James Stewart. Stewart in third, but it won't take long.
Good decision by Stewart for the first couple of corners. He didn't get that great a start, but he tucked around the inside. A bunch of guys piled up to the outside. Then he dove to the inside, and here he is with a chance to win this heat.
Kevin Johnson, 757, is also up there in 5th position. And Sellards now trying to hold off James Stewart. Stewart trying to make the move. As he goes wide, Sellards blocks him out on the play. And so both of them have to double while Tane triples out in front.
That's a big break for Tane, but I think these guys will reel him right back in. And I'm going, look at this, right back at you. And he knocks him down.
Sellards goes down. Take that from the rookie.
I'll tell you what, you know, it's been aggressive riding from this kid. It's got some of the veterans going, you know what, I don't like being pushed around. Sellards said, here's how I'm going to play that from now on. Had no idea that Stewart was going to come back that quick, and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's aggressive racing.
Hey, do unto others as they do unto you in this game.
He had a reason. Let's take another look. Going through the whoops, he just aimed to the right. He almost went down himself. He wanted to make sure that was settled right then and there, and it is. Sellards got definitely a free ticket to back him in the main event if he gets the opportunity. Sellards, and Stewart will be looking out for that as he closes in.
Closes in on Tane. Tane, it started out to be a promising season, suffered a big setback last week. Went into the race only 9 points behind this guy, Stewart. Is Stewart taking the lead? No, Tane takes it back again. Right back and forth action here in our second qualifier.
That was Stewart just going, okay, just checking. He looked over at him. I think he's going to want to clean it up. You don't want to start getting on everybody's nerves right away by having all these aggressive passes. And he'll be patient right here. They got a good lead on third.
Tane, who struggled to a 15th place, is now 25 points in back of Stewart for the championship race. He needs a good one here tonight in Phoenix. Here comes Stewart making his move, but he can't quite get the edge of the whoops anyway.
I'm impressed with Tane. You know, he's had plenty of chances to see what this kid Stewart's all about. He jumps the quadruple jump. We haven't seen that yet. Unbelievable. Little miscue right there, comes up short of the landing, but it takes so much to throw Stewart down.
Stewart with a good inside track. Tane lets him off the hook, and Tane can't take the full jump. Stewart's our leader. Look at that. One fan just shaking his head. I don't believe this kid.
That was a smart move, a pretty clean pass. You know, the tracks are getting harder and harder to pass as the riders get better and better to hold off. You know, run the best line. It makes it so difficult for somebody of equal talent to find a way around without a little bit of bumping. But that time, Stewart tried to do it as clean as possible. I don't think Tane has anything to complain about that.
Davey Combs said, does he go by so fast you don't have time to see the pink?
I tell you, it's a wonderful looking gear, but when you're up close, it's a blur. But listen, I'll tell you about another Kawasaki rider. While James Stewart is out front, Matt Walker, the Simple Green Pro Circuit team, crashed. He's out of the race. This has just been a bad year for Mitch Payton's team. And Walker having a real tough start here in the 125 West region. He's going to try and ride the LCQ.
That's too bad. Yeah, I like Walker. He's got a great opportunity over there under Mitch's team, and Billy Lanovich has had a similar kind of luck in his first pro season on the KTM. And once these guys get it figured out and get just a little break or two, they're going to do fine.
What a remarkable start to his pro career, James Stewart, living up to his expectations and those of others. 3 races, 3 podiums, including a win in San Diego. He's not backing off. His team is going through the whoops in second place there, number 27 on the Yamaha.
Well, we talked about 55.1. That was where the bar was set. Tedesco's fastest lap in Heat 1. Stewart turned to 53.7 that last lap.
Wow.
That's huge. In a 15-lap race, you know, that turns out to be about a 3/4 of a lap lead.
White flag. As Tane in second place comes roaring across. Our final lap underway in the second qualifying heat. 9 riders go to directly in the main. 4 out of the last chance qualifier. There's always 22 riders in that main event of the 125 West.
Here comes Stewart against the signal from J-Bone. Jeremy Albrecht, everyone calls him J-Bone. A great combination. Now, these guys got a great sense of humor. And look at this kid. Floats through those whoops, making him look so easy. He goes around that berm, parallel to the ground, feet up. Here comes the quadruple. Last lap, doesn't need to do it, does it anyway.
He's got it timed down. Why change?
That's the triple where he crashed yesterday. This came to a complete stop.
Gosler's in third, but he's not being pressed by Preston at all. The checkers. James Stewart flies across, winning his 3rd consecutive qualifier. He had to win the LCQ in his very first pro race, but James puts the clamps on it right now, and he'll get the first choice of gate with the probable faster lap time than Ivan Tedesco in his qualifier.
Well, every time out, this kid shows us something else, and that was some really smart, patient riding.
Our Suzuki leaderboard, let's check those who go on to the main. Stewart, Tane, Gosler, Preston, and Young rounding out the top 5 with Reed, Olaf, Kevin Johnson, and Billy Lanovich makes the main event right out of the first qualifier. Sellards and others, they have to go to that last chance qualifier, and there's a lot of talent going to the LCQ in this 125. We'll be back to Phoenix, Arizona right after this. Our rider of the week from EA Sports has 2 podium finishes in his first 3 races. He's Ivan Tedesco, and he visited with our Jeff Emig.
He started out the first race at Anaheim with the first turn pileup. Finished up with a 7th, which is a really strong ride. Came back for San Diego to finish the 3rd. How long do you think that it's going to take you to win a main event?
I don't know. It's just going to take a good start and just get up front with, you know, Bubba and Thane and all those guys and just ride a good race, no mistakes. And I should be able to win one. I got the speed. Just going to take getting a start and run up front.
How do you feel your endurance and everything is, like your physical condition?
My endurance is really good right now. I mean, I trained my butt off the whole off season. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm not even phased at 15 laps. So I wish the mains were a little longer.
Have you been laying off the big macho burritos? Or
Yeah.
Still been putting
Yeah, I've been
down?
on a strict diet, been on a good training program. So.
All right. So with your training, are you focused more on your riding, or was there any part of your, whether it be your lifting or your cardiovascular work that you focused on in the off season?
Well, during the off season, I bulked up a little bit with some weight training, but I quit that about a month ago, and mainly just been trying to ride my bike as much as possible, get a bunch of laps in, and I've been cycling a lot with my mountain bike and road bike, and just working on my endurance, and it's gotten a lot better.
What part of your riding do you think that you need to improve on?
Lately, my starts. I've been
hearing that a lot lately from a lot of guys.
Yeah, I need to I worked on a lot of those this week, and hopefully I'll get that taken care of and get up front and win some races.
Definitely in Supercross, getting a good start makes it easier. You get out there by yourself and ride your own race.
Yeah, it definitely makes it easier. Less guys you have to pass. When you come from, like, first Anaheim, when I came from last, it's just there's no way you could win with guys like Stewart, how fast they're going. They're matching our pace, so, coming from way back, it's pretty much impossible to win.
What do you think of James Stewart?
He's a good rider. He's been tearing it up out there. He's going to be hard to beat, for sure.
If you get a start with him, can you stay with him the whole race?
Yeah, I think I can. My endurance is good, my speed's good, and he might ride a mistake-free race, and he's still a rookie. He might make some mistakes, but then again, he might not.
What riders do you look up to now?
I always look up to McGrath just because what he's done, and you, of course. You're one of my idols growing up. And it's crazy being here where I'm at now, just racing with all some of the guys that I used to look up to.
So is it at this point? Is it kind of like a dream come true, or will it be when you reach the top level and you're riding 250 Supercross and taking wins and podiums there that the dream actually unfolds?
Yeah, I think this is where it starts, and that's my goal, is to go through the 125 ranks and then move up to 250s and hopefully win some championships there. That's my long-term goals, but I need to focus on what's happening right now and do that first.
Our Honda Flashback today revisits Ivan Tedesco's performance this year. In Week 1, a strong ride gave him a 7th place finish. In Week 2, staying near the front all night, Ivan finished 3rd. And then last week, another podium finish for Ivan Tedesco. The field is set now for the 125 main before this packed house, a standing room only, 49,123, as we take a look at the Speed Stick Nissan LCQ results. Sellards, Viejo, Coppins, and Buccaloo, I should say, make it into the 22-rider field. Matt Walker does not. The Honda main event grid, so will look like this as far as the Phoenix, Arizona race. James Stewart with the fastest time and winning his qualifying heat. Ivan Tedesco winning the other qualifier. And you got the big names, most of them out in front. Michael Brandes, a one-time winner. Preston, he won the opener this year. As we take a look at the rest of the field on the Honda starting lineup. The hole shot, the Powerade hole shot. It's the white line on the upper right of your screen that crosses the track. The first rider passing that white line will get the $1,000 Powerade hole shot award. The 30-second board is up.
Last week, James Stewart got that money, but he crashed across the lawn.
Yeah.
He can't seem to do anything wrong. There he is right there. You can't miss him in the pink, number 259. This is his 4th professional race. He sits in the points lead, and tell you what, from the way he looked in his heat race, a couple of seconds faster than anyone else in the field, he's the favorite.
They're in gear. They're revving up. The board is sideways, and we're off for Phoenix, Arizona, the 125 West. Stewart. Preston also with a fine start, number 29.
That's the first hole shot I can think that Stewart's ever had.
Another good start by Casey Lytle. Stewart and Lytle 1 and 2.
Hard landing right there. They jumped all the way to flat, landed right on the front wheel. These bikes are set up so forgiving, doesn't even matter anymore.
Chain is in 5th, putting pressure on Bess in 4th. There you see number 29 for Preston. What a move.
You got to, with Stewart out front, you can't afford to wait. Last week, Preston right there, number 29, He knew that Stewart went down the first corner. He tried a little bit too hard in the race. This time Stewart's out front, so he has to take a few chances getting up there.
Yeah, this is a favorite place, too, of number 59, right behind Travis Preston. His one 125 win was right here in Phoenix, Arizona.
The lead of Stewart already in this opening lap is just unbelievable. He's gone all the way across through the mechanics area, over the tunnel. There it is. You can't even see second place yet.
A 6-second lead already, David.
Stewart jumping about 8 bumps into that whoop section. Flawless so far, but we've seen how fast things can change. I like Preston's attitude, though. This kid's got a great sense of humor, and he seems to think that if he's able to apply any pressure to Stewart, he's going to crack. And so far, Stewart has been a little bit wobbly under pressure.
Tain has moved in front of Casey Lytle right now. Let's go down to Davey.
Well, the only guy that was in front of James Stewart last week, David Pingree, absent from this main event. You guys saw that scary crash. Well, apparently what happened, Pingree's bike seized on the takeoff. Very scary thing to happen. He bruised his chest and decided to take a trip to the hospital. Pingree out of the race.
What a bad break for David, who was right in that points race, only 9 points behind Stewart in second after Anaheim 2 and that great victory.
Yeah, and he was in control as well in this heat race, too. He was right out front, and it was right here off this triple where he landed on the front wheel and the front end just broke away. Now, I talked about the pressure that Preston was talking about applying to Stewart. If you can apply the pressure, yeah, maybe Stewart could be in question of how he handles that. But right now, with, I don't know, almost about a 10-second lead, there's no pressure at all.
It's Stewart, Preston, and Tain, our top 3. Stewart just dominating out in front, looking for his second win. He got his second hole shot, consecutive hole shot, number 259, James Stewart. And he is dominating this 125 West main event. Stewart coming into the race, leading the field by 9 points. But it looks like he wants to stretch it out by at least 3 more on Travis Preston.
I forgot about yeah, he did get the whole shot last week, but it didn't last very long. And that made for an exciting race. I think right here, all we can look at is the artistry of this kid. I mean, he is, talked with his mechanic, Jeremy Albrecht. He said they'll be out walking the track, and he's going, oh, this turn reminds me of such and such corner back in 1992 when Jeremy McGrath and Jeff Emick. And he remembers every little piece. He watches the TV. He's very prepared. He's having so much fun out there. I think he probably can't even believe he's getting paid to do this.
Let's go to Davey right now, David.
Well, I was listening to what David was saying about Stewart watching TV. Guys, keep this in mind. All of the 250 riders recently have been watching what Stewart does, because even though he's on a 125 with half the CCs, he is jumping things that a lot of the 250 guys don't do right away. And I got to tell you, I haven't seen someone this creative on a 125 since Jeremy McGrath back in 1991, 1992, when he looked like he was on a 250. Stewart is just amazing on this 125.
Yeah, good point, Davey. As a matter of fact, the ride that Stewart put in last week from last to second, closing down on Pingree, similar to the ride that Jeremy put in back in San Jose, I think it was, crashing in the first corner, coming all the way back to the win. He possesses the same abilities that we saw early on from McGrath.
You mentioned, David, earlier that this kid not only learning race to race, but hour to hour. As we go back to our second place rider right now, Travis Preston, number 29.
That last lap for Preston at 54.1 to Stewart's 53.3. So he's losing a little over a second a lap. Seems like so far in this race. Holding on to second, no problem, but he's got Tedesco back there. Or I mean Tain, that is. Tedesco's teammate. I get those guys mixed up. Tain has been solid. He's been very consistent. He's had a shot at these things a couple of times. He's been out front. He's comfortable with podium position.
Stewart, you see on front, Preston, Tain, Gosselaar, Brandis. Let's go back to Davey.
Well, Art, this might be the last time we see Roderick Tain for the foreseeable future. Believe it or not, he's already got an appointment. He's going under the knife on Tuesday to get his right shoulder fixed. He wanted to ride one more race, but no matter what, win or lose tonight, Tain is done for the rest of the 125 West season.
Amazing to think of the kind of pain these guys are able to ride in. Seems like there's always a little something during the season that's sprained or twisted or even broken, you have to ride with. Last year in the 250 class here, LaRocco broke his foot during the race, still finished third, then had to ride all the races coming up with that hurt foot.
Shane Bentley, a former champion of 125 ranks. We were waiting to see him in the 125 East. He broke a leg in practice the other day, so Shea Bentley will not be performing when we go to Indianapolis for Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Don't forget, you can hear the webcast live as this race is going on ESPN.com. So if you don't want to wait just to see the television replay, you want to see, of course, how they did it. But you can hear it live on the webcast.
Well, I think one thing we can look for here is maybe just to see how far up through the field Stewart can lap.
Here's the Honda stopwatch, checking out Stewart and Preston.
Uh-oh, that's the same corner.
Stewart's down. Can he get started and get going? It'll tighten it up, that's for sure. Stewart banging on the bar.
See how slippery it is back there. All that.
But look at that. It took a long time for Preston to come into our picture. But it did cut the lead down a bit.
Preston's going, see, I hold my ground and people crash all around me and I ride right up into position, so.
Oh no, the story is 5 years from now, I pressured him into that move.
Well, he's been riding steady laps. He didn't give up. He didn't let Tane creep up on him. He's still racing forward. Now he can see Stewart.
Yeah, I asked him about his idol, Stewart, and I was expecting a David Bailey or Jean-Michel or Vail or something like that. It was Jeff Matasevich. He liked that wild style and came across the TV tubes where he saw it.
Actually, you know, I recall the years that he was really keeping an eye on Matasevich, and I like Matasevich's style as well. He's very fluid out there. One of those guys that really didn't have to work at it that hard. He just looked great on a motorcycle. And I think that's what Stewart liked in him the most, because judging from Stewart's style, that seems very, very important to him.
Number 29, Travis Preston. Good luck turning to bad last week as he placed 17th after a great start on the season. He's rectifying himself right now, trying to get back into it as he tries to catch up with our leader, James Stewart. One more mistake and he'd be right there. Checking out our leaderboard from this packed house at Bank One Ballpark. Stewart, Preston, Tane, our top three, with Gosler not far off. James Stewart trying to become the first two-time winner on the 125 West season. We've had 3 different winners in the first 3 races. That's a long ways from the record, as we had 9 different winners in the year 2000, counting both divisions. 3.5 seconds. The lead has been cut down to there.
Yeah, you can see that the spots out there on the racetrack. Of course, from our view, it looks a lot better, but from our view, or from Preston's view, rather, he's got Stewart in sight. Now watch when he lands off this triple. He doesn't land as smooth as he has been. A little bit of a lands kind of at the bottom of that downslope, right onto that slippery surface.
We've had a lot of guys.
clutch.
Yeah, we've had a lot of guys tonight throughout qualifying and everything hit their chest on the bar.
It's because it's a very busy racetrack. That triple right there, this is the corner we went down earlier. That comes up so quick, then it's slippery, then it's right into the woods. It's one section right after another where it requires precision. It's the most technical track to me so far in this series, and that's why we're seeing more mistakes.
For those people who haven't seen much of James Stewart in the beginning of the season, his number 259 is a dedication to his good friend Tony Haynes. A racing accident left him paralyzed at 14 years of age, but everything that he gains, this young man James Stewart points back at his friend and said, "This one's for you."
Yeah, he looked up to Haynes, who used to race with Tim Ferry and Ronnie Fishner, Carmichael, and I think it's pretty neat to see a kid that young understand the significance of that and run that number, actually request it and tell Haynes they have taken it to the top, and he's got it there.
Then this number 29, Travis Preston, just steady. I was surprised with his results last week, but a lot of it was out of his control. As we see here, seconds behind the leader.
Now he's losing time again, but at least he had an opportunity.
Stewart stepping it up. And Travis Preston, a lonely second place right now. Behind Preston is Tane, Gosler, Viejo, and Brandis, a one-time winner. He won in Indianapolis. Broc Sellards, a one-time winner in Pontiac. Ivan Tedesco in 8th. Bess in 9th, Travis Elliott 10th. Casey Lytle started off strong. He's all the way down to 21st right now.
What an improvement, though, since last year for Preston. You know, the one win in Houston was all I can really think of. The rest of the time, he was pretty much flying under the radar. Didn't really notice him that much. Now, new equipment, new surroundings over there, new team, Amsoil, with Michael Rocco, of course, heading that up. And the confidence that it gives you to be able to know that people are believing in you like that. It makes so much difference out there.
Well, I was impressed with the San Diego race as much as I was in Wynn, as we see him go through that banana-like move on the track right now. He started in 15th, came all the way back to 5th in San Diego, and coming up through a field is not easy in a 15-lap race.
You know, it's even a little bit harder in the 125 class. There's so much depth in the class this year, and if you make a mistake on a 250, somewhere else in that lap, you can usually just twist the throttle a little bit more, hang it out somewhere, and get that time back. On a 125, you're on the edge. You're just about maxed out in your pace. It's a full sprint, and so to get it back is really tough. He did a good job working his way up. That could matter when it comes down to the championship. If Stewart makes any kind of mistake, and that Preston be in position to take advantage of it.
If they stay the same right now, as Stewart was over the finish line jump, and the white flag, final lap underway, and Preston finishes at second, he would gain 3 points, 3 more points on Preston, which would be 27 points down. That's a little more than one race. In a short 125 series, that's a big factor.
He's getting ready to lap Justin Buckaloo, who was in the points lead last year at this time in this class.
His undoing was right here in Phoenix.
Went down the first corner, got tangled with his teammate Fonseca, who went on to win that championship on the two-stroke, or the four-stroke, rather.
Well, you can see the vibration on these shots that go through the arms of Stewart. And he's going to win by more than 6 seconds if he stays upright.
Besides just double that triple. Wise move. Got riders all around him, but what a feeling for this kid. He's approaching the finish line. He's won each of his races and done well a different way each time.
The checkers for Stewart. His second career victory. The third Kawasaki to win here a 125 race. Ramsey and Emig before this terrific phenom, the 16-year-old who takes his second main event on the season out of 4 races. His cheerleader. You don't see his dad act like that during the race. He's pretty quiet.
We got to get him some pink pom-poms. That'll get everybody revved up.
I'll tell you, he's a big man, too.
That's why they call him Big James. He's proud. They've dreamed about this. I don't know if they thought it was going to happen this fast.
Our Davey Combs getting into the picture there as Stewart goes right up to the podium, winning the 125 West main event. Boy, it's going to be great, too, on that live pay-per-view to see both East and West meet in Las Vegas on May 5th. You have an opportunity to see it live and see how James Stewart matches up with guys like Chad Reed, for instance, in the 125 East. Let's go to Davey now.
Well, James, other than that little spill there in the middle of the race, that looked pretty easy.
Yeah, I got it to a decent start. I mean, I thought I had the whole shot, but Casey Lytle edged me out there. And I passed him through the first corner, and I just kind of rode my race, and I kind of brain farted out there a little bit and just slipped out, but I'm happy.
Once you got back up going, it looks like you were very comfortable on this track. Now you're the first rider to win 2 main events this year. Nice points, so you got to feel great about your first month as a pro.
Yeah, I mean, I got so much confidence now. I got up front, and I pulled a big old lead, and I was like, kind of started messing up there, but came out good. I was happy.
Hey, listen, on your Kawasaki 125, it looks like you're the only guy that can jump some of these jumps out there, like the quadruple jump. Is that a little bit hairy on a 125?
No, actually, it's pretty easy. I mean, my Kawasaki's getting over it easy, and I'm just having fun out there.
And you're making it look easy. Good ride, James.
Thanks. Tony Haynes, dude.
There you have it. Once again, dedicating another victory to Tony Haynes, his very good friend. As we take a look at the Suzuki main event results, Stewart, Preston, Tane. We're used to seeing those 3 up there But what a dominating win this time for Stewart, David.
I had a feeling that was going to happen here pretty soon, and you know, he's dangerous. You can't let him get out front or he's gone. Even if he falls down, he's still got enough cushion to get up and get into the lead. Good ride for Gosler.
And Sellards now rounding out the top 5 as we see Lytle slipping down to 21st. Buckaloo, he's used to winning. He started this season, though, his first racing activity since the Nationals when he had a broken collarbone. And James Sr. putting the fist in the air. And I know his mom, Sonia, in the stands is just as excited as James Stewart takes a commanding lead in the momentum now of the 125 Western scene. David Stewart, his second professional Supercross victory.
Unbelievable. This kid wins a different way. Every time he comes through the pack, he comes through a different way. Very aggressive tonight. We'll see what happens. If you stick a wheel in on him, he'll give it right back.
We saw more consistency from Preston and Tane, and then Gosler gets back in the action with a 4th place finish. Let's go to Davey now, who's with our 2nd place finisher, Travis Preston.
Travis, a good ride, but you never really got a chance to ride with Stewart.
Yeah, I know. He got a really good start, and he pulled out so fast. And I was trying, but yet I was also kind of playing it a little safe, too.
It seemed like on the track out there, it's real easy to make mistakes. Did that bother you at all when you were trying to make up time?
Yeah, it seemed like towards the end I started making a little bit more mistakes. I started to back it down a little bit more.
You have a couple more races going in this series. What do you have to do to get after Stewart?
I think I need to ride over my head. Right now I'm riding like 85%. I just need to pin it.
Good ride tonight.
Thanks.
Our Suzuki points page, James Stewart gains terrific momentum.
Well, and he's got everybody intimidated, too. It's so funny to hear the humor of Preston, but he's right. I mean, you can't be careful with James Stewart out front. Even when he's in last, he's dangerous for the win.
Tedesco moving into 2nd place. Good steady riding.
Yes, good steady riding from Tedesco, and good for the Amsoil team. Both Gosler and Preston up front again.
Let's go back to Davey.
Well, Roderick, a good ride, and I know your shoulder's hurting you, too.
Yeah, my shoulder hurts, but I want to ride this weekend because it's hard for me to make this decision, you know, to stop the Supercross. I'm happy to be on the podium tonight. It was a pretty tough main event because, you know, last weekend I popped out my shoulder. But I'm pretty happy. And I see you, Glen Ellen, for the outdoor.
How long do you think you will be out with your surgery?
3 to 4 months recovery, yeah.
Hopefully you'll be back for the Outdoor Nationals?
Yeah, I'm sure I can be back at 100% for the outdoor. Pretty tough.
It was a very gutsy ride. Did it hurt tonight? Did the shoulder hurt at all when you were riding?
Yeah. I ride with the brace. It helped me a little bit, but I'm not 100% for sure. But that's fine.
Good luck with the surgery.
Thank you, David.